he wrestles against Bad Leroy Brown. But right before the match, Don Curtis was named Promoter of the Year. Let's go back. Jacksonville, 1979.
And, of course, Don, this was the presentation that took place, and the first Florida heavyweight champion is recognized by the National Wrestling Alliance. Les Welch with you there at the Coliseum in Jacksonville last Thursday night, presenting you with the plaque for the National Promoter of the Year, also your official NWA blue blazer, and obviously a very, very proud moment for you, and certainly a well-deserved moment. Might just point out that, of course, Jacksonville has been the mecca and the capital of the hotspot of wrestling over the years. The Jacksonville Coliseum, the site of many, many great matches in the past. And there you see the plaque, and, of course, a very, very fine blazer. And, of course, momentarily we're going to see the match that everybody has been waiting to see. This match, of course, between Eddie Graham and Bad Leroy Brown. And it is Eddie Graham moving into the ring at this time. And Jacksonville wrestling fans, of course, remember the fantastic matches this man has had in the past. I might just point out it was in Jacksonville that Eddie Graham's wrestling career was almost ended by the great Malenko. It was there also in Jacksonville that Eddie Graham took on the great Malenko, and Malenko's own kind of matches, the Russian chain match and the Russian death match. The match is underway now, an excellent drop toe hold by Eddie Graham into a cross-face lock from the rear. Sir Oliver Humperdinck, a gentleman who, well, that's a loose word to use on him, but anyway, he has become very highly successful with this Bad Leroy Brown and Bugsy McGraw. Of course, he's also been bringing in some bounty hunters such as Ernie Ladd and many others. But Eddie Graham certainly giving Leroy Brown a wrestling lesson at this point, and a look of consternation and worry on the face of Sir Oliver Humperdinck. The referee checking now. Bad Leroy Brown makes it into the ring ropes once again, forcing the break. And Graham driving that knee into those femoris muscles, now backs away. Bad Leroy Brown, who had bragged continually as to just how bad he was going to be and how quickly he was going to take care of Eddie Graham, is beginning to find out that he's got a tough one on his hands. Now you see him there. He has a pair of brass knucks. Graham caught in the eyes, could not see, and now Bad Leroy Brown uncorks a right hand with that, obviously with a brass knuck, and now into a lateral press. Graham appears to be unconscious at this point, but he powers out before that count of three. Dazed and staggered, it's Bad Leroy Brown using every advantage he can at this point in time, and Sir Oliver Humperdinck looking a little happier at this point, as Graham is definitely in trouble. But now a discussion between Graham and now Bad Leroy Brown staggered back as the referee was hurtled into him, and now Eddie Graham reaches down, picks up those brass knucks, dropped by Leroy Brown, and uncorks a right hand that staggers this 300-pounder over 6 feet 5 inches tall, catches him with another solid right hand, and a third one that puts Bad Leroy Brown down. And now it's Sir Oliver Humperdinck charging into the ring, and Eddie Graham going for that figure 4 leg lock. And that may well be the all she wrote for one Sir Oliver Humperdinck, but Bad Leroy Brown using that elbow comes down across the chest and face of Eddie Graham. Graham in trouble again. Sundied from behind now, Don Curtis charges into the ring. The Jacksonville promoter picking up that brass knuck that was used by Bad Leroy Brown. Humperdinck takes a swing at him, and Curtis applies the sleeper hold. Don Curtis has the sleeper hold, now caught from behind again by this Bad Leroy Brown. And all I can say is this 305... Now, Brown ripping that brand new blazer of Don Curtis's. Curtis still staggered. This may be one of the worst mistakes that the Bad Leroy Brown has made, and that is allowing Sir Oliver Humperdinck to move into that ring to interfere, particularly against a pair like Don Curtis and Eddie Graham. Sir Oliver Humperdinck again using those street shoes on him. And Eddie Graham still dazed, but starting slowly to come back to his feet. Now Curtis trapped the referee trying to break it up. Now Eddie Graham uncorks that right hand, and of course he's known as having the hardest punch in wrestling history. And now it is Don Curtis and Eddie Graham in that squared circle all by themselves, as Bad Leroy Brown and Sir Oliver Humperdinck have beat a hasty retreat indeed. And Eddie Graham declared the winner, but this is not satisfactory to Eddie Graham. There's no question about it. Eddie Graham is not satisfied. At this time, Don Curtis has lost his temper, and they're offering now to bring these men back. Eddie Graham offering $2,000 if these two men will return, Sir Oliver Humperdinck and Bad Leroy Brown. If they'll just step back into that squared circle, Graham fully intends to settle the score once and for all with him. However, They did not choose to return. They did not choose to come back. So later in the dressing room, Eddie Graham moved over to Don Curtis, and at this point in time is demanding that he wants a Russian death match. He wants a Russian death match with Bad Leroy Brown, and he wants the assurance from Don Curtis that Don will be his official second in the corner to make sure that Sir Oliver Humperdinck does not make one single move into the ring. With the double, and Curtis is explaining to him here that if Sir Oliver makes one move, that sleeper hold goes back on him, and it'll be all she wrote for Sir Oliver Humperdinck. But again, you can see the intensity, the anger on Eddie Graham's face, and here's a man who is doubly determined, and he will settle the score.
Mr. Backlund to make his presence felt at the ring. I have been asked by him, and I will pass it along to you. He does not like to be called the bald-headed chicken. But you can hear the crowd here. They don't understand that. They're very quickly picking up the chant. There's the bell.
Come on, pal. Come on, pal. Show that rookie what he is.
Good high waist lift takedown. Backlund very quickly scoots over to the ring rope.
You shut up and watch them. Watch my pal. Finish him off.
Lightning Lou Perez. Tremendous athlete. Mr. Tampa just a few years ago. Mark Starr at ringside, giving Backlund counseling, I guess you would call it.
Come on, Jimmy. Let's go.
Maintains that side headlock. Backlund keeping his man under control. Say hi to my good friend James Manley. Mark Starr again issuing instructions from outside the ring. Now, a second party in a match like this can create some interesting problems for the competitor. Backlund now. Hip toss, and Backlund caught again. The bandana has been removed. And there you see it. It's not really the Mona Lisa, is it? Hardly an inscrutable smile on the face of Mr. Backlund. All right, the bandana back in place.
Don't you worry about it.
He's talking to my friends Francie and Angel the other day about Backlund and the fact that his coiffure, if you will, has been rearranged. Backlund and Mark Starr got some scores to settle, according to them, against Brett Sawyer and Dustin Rhodes. It's coming to a showdown battle between Backlund and Dustin, and it's going to be a loser-leave town situation, and I know that's going to happen. Good counter by Backlund. Up and over his man. A special hello, too, to all of our good friends in Malibu. watching us on KBOO each week. KBU. Pleasure to be aboard in our ever-growing network. Locking up collar and elbow once again. Mickey J watching him carefully, and Backlund may have ripped the eyes that time. Yeah, he's using the laces of his boots now and now Mark Starr issuing some punishment outside the ring on lightning Lou Perez. Star possibly across the studio here. How'd I like that? Well, I wasn't too fond of it. Beautiful gut wrench salto by Jim Backlund. Good reversal, and that time it was Backlund ahead of his man. Perez in trouble. Perez losing his balance there, and wait a minute. Mark Starr in behind his man, and he's got that hangman's noose again. We're calling for the bell. Referee Mickey J calling for the bell as Mark Starr felt that Perez was perhaps getting some advantage here. And so Lou Perez, wait a minute. Dustin Rhodes and Brett Sawyer moved in.
Come on over here, Star.
And they got that proverbial chain. Collins, the party animal. Scotty, the body. I'll tell you one thing, you got to give these two athletes credit. They're double tough, and they got a lot of courage. They're moving up against the Florida Tag Team Champions, the Nasty Boys. One fall match. Carl Davis down there at ringside, picking up the robes and jackets. All right, it's Scotty the Body moving out first. Sags and Knobs.
Come on,
Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
Florida Tag Team Championship event. And you notice there's Scotty the Body twice now. Hit a brick wall, then got a full body slam. Collins moves in, he gets a full body slam. Now both of the Nasty Boys are in there. Well, I wonder how the Party Boys feel now. They seem to be a little bit disconcerted. Scotty the Body, obviously upset over what's happened. All right, it's Scotty the Body moving back in, tags up with Steve Collins. Collins moves in. Collins, a series of forearms, and smashes the Nasty Boy into the turnbuckle. Good block by the Nasty Boy. Drills Collins' head in there. And as Scotty the Body charged in, well, I'll tell you what. Scotty the Body and Steve Collins describe them as porkers, huh? I'll tell you what. They are some kind of tough. And some double teaming going on here. Referee Mickey J warning Scotty the Body. Collins caught him with the back of the elbow. And Collins now punishing the Nasty Boy. May have him in trouble.
1, 2, 3.
The Nasty Boys recently returned from Hawaii where they were competing. All right, again the tag is made. Collins moves in. Well, I'll tell you, frankly, I didn't expect the match to go this long. And I think I may have underestimated the power of the party animals, Steve Collins and Scotty the Body. They are giving the Nasty Boys a hard way to go. Grant Nelson and I were talking just the other day over at Portable Copies about the Nasty Boys, and he said they were unorthodox, which I have to agree with. But I'll tell you what, they're having their problems here with Collins and Scotty the Body. And I would say right now, if you were to go on this one, on any kind of a point system, you'd have to go about 50-50. Brings him up once again. Once again, the tag is made. They keep him up against those ring ropes. Some quick double teaming here. They go for a double drop kick, and the Nasty Boy was a step ahead. Tags up. Sags moves in, and wow! Scotty the Body back on his feet, caught with a lariat. Hold on just a second. The Star Riders just charged into the ring. The Star Riders just charged into the ring. Referee Mickey J calling for the bell. And so it appeared to me that Scotty the Body and Steve Collins are disqualified. Outside interference because they're attacking the Nasty Boys. Ooh, brother. All right. Nasty Boys let loose with a chair. And that kind of cleared the ring in a hurry. Speaking about clear. And it has rung. And it's Mike Graham. Quick takedown is caught now in a... He's caught on a head scissors momentarily. Now it's Mike Graham back on his feet. He has the side headlock on Steve Collins. And Graham off the ropes catches him a good shoulder smash. Collins, the Playboy, has proven to be a very, very difficult competitor, has yet to be defeated here on Florida Championship Wrestling. And I see some of the Mellons girls going back over to ringside and watching this match. Mike Graham keeping the side headlock. Collins regains his feet. The referee is Mickey J. Later on in the program, too, we're going to be seeing Tyree Pride in action. We'll see the Nasty Boys going up against the Star Riders. Good breakup by Mike Graham. And again, a hip lock takedown into the side headlock. Mickey J down there checking those shoulders. Our blast from the past concerns the American dream. We'll also see the Terminator and Johnny Ace in action. And so Collins breaks that up very nicely and moves into a top wrist lock. Collins would hold a slight edge in leverage here, and now his possibly good turn under by Graham and into that fireman carry takedown. Mike, of course, a second-generation competitor. Locked in on the arm and the wrist. Collins coming to his feet again. We'll say hi to our good friend Claude Miranda, the catering director at Mellon. High backdrop that has Collins in trouble. Those 26 movable vertebrae were jarred by that one, and the referee, Mickey J, down there very quickly checking those shoulders, but only a count of 2. I said, of course, before, Mike Graham is facing a man who has yet to be defeated here on Florida Championship Wrestling. Collins has a perfect win streak going right now. Caught him. coming off the ropes, and Mike Graham went down, and Collins very quickly delivers the flat of the foot to the top of the head. Collins, a flying lariat that takes Mike Graham off his feet again, and Graham, the Florida heavyweight champion, is a little worse for wear now at the hands of Playboy Steve Collins. And the crowd beginning to pick up the chant of "Go, Mike, go." And increasing in intensity, Collins catches him again, this time a drop kick coming off the ropes. Graham has taken a lot of percussions to the upper part of his body. Quick snapmare takes him back, and Collins now with a rear chin lock. All right, Graham trying to fight his way back to his feet now. Collins keeping that rear chin lock, and it looks to me like he got some extra leverage that time. Referee Mickey J thought so too and is questioning Collins, but Collins vigorously denying any wrongdoing whatsoever. I saw Louis Estea a little earlier. We're going to be talking to him later on. We'll also be talking to the Mellons girls. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a short commercial time out. Should a pinfall or a submission occur while we're away, we'll bring it to you on instant replay. But right now, let's take this brief time out in the action. A figure four leg lock. Now look at Collins desperately trying to get over to those ring ropes. Well, he got to the ring ropes. He is forcing the break on this. Mike Graham gets up, and suddenly Scott Hall charges in from behind. Scott Hall delivering the boots to, of course, and you know how he wants Mike Graham in that Florida Heavyweight Championship. And so Mickey J trying to get this broken up. Mike Graham finally booted out of the ring, as you can see. But it is Mickey J who raises the hand of Mike Graham, declaring sags and knobs going up against the Star Riders, who are indeed a double tough pair of competitors. The Blade and the Rock. All right, referee Mickey J. One man out on each side. So it's the Rock. And they lock up very quickly. Collar and elbow, and now you've got, the Nasty Boy's over 300 pounds, and the Rock is right in there at around 265. Pair of super heavyweights. He bowls him back into the ring ropes. That'll force the break. And it was a good clean break. Once again, circling his men. Once again, they close in. And again, very cautious on the break. Watch it carefully. And that time, it was the Rock taking some advantage on the break. Pressing his advantage for all he's worth now. An Irish whip that puts him in. Nasty Boy ducks under that one, comes back up, full body slam. And as the Blade came in, he caught the same treatment. And now we've got all four of them in the ring at one time. Remember, the Nasty Boys are the Florida Tag Team Champions, but these are a team, this is a team that's after them, as well as Johnny Ace and the Terminator. But boy, they caught him that time, a double lariat. Puts them down and outside the ring. And they're still outside the ring. The count is on. And you can hear the chant there. You see the Mellon girls picking up the chant of nasty, nasty, nasty. These are as rough and as rugged a pair of wrestlers as I've ever seen. countered and then neatly countered, if you will. Countered again. Tag was made. The Blade moves in, lashed out with a boot. Nasty Boy caught him. And a back leg trip takes him off his feet. He must have thought the Nasty Boy was asleep. When you extend a foot like that in wrestling, you're just asking for trouble. And now, the Blade beginning to find out that it was indeed a mistake. Sags and knobs, the Nasty Boys. I said currently hold that Florida Tag Team Championship. They'll be on hand on the day of the Survivor. Referee Mickey Jade. Count of 2. Blade got that shoulder off. One fall. 10-minute time limit. And again, we may have to cut away to a commercial. If we do, once again, we will make sure that the cameras keep rolling. So in the event of what happened earlier, when the match concluded while we were away, we were able to bring it to you in its entirety. Inside step over now by the Nasty Boy. And the Blade, if he were wise, and if he could get away, which thus far he's not been able to do. There you see them as they go after those quadriceps femoris muscles, lending more punishment. The legs, of course, are the most powerful muscles in the body. And obviously, if you take away a leg, you've really taken away the fighting capabilities of a wrestler or any competitor for that matter. By the way, we've had a nice response on our blast from the past, thanks to Eric Vaughn from Clearwater, indicating some comments about our blast from the past. As I said, we've got a real interesting one upcoming. It'll be for the Florida Heavyweight Championship. Once again, the tag is made. And notice the way they keep the Star Riders tied up in their own corner. And they have really got that left leg in trouble now of the Blade. Keep him in that corner, and again now doubling up on both legs. Okay, the Rock came charging in, and now he's caught from behind by the Nasty Boy. Okay, we're going to break away for a short timeout, and then we'll continue with this action here. The Nasty Boys, the Florida Tag Team Champions, against the Star Riders. Hold it for just a second. Because this could be all she wrote. This could be all she wrote. No, they did not have the perception to get in there quickly enough. So we'll be back in just a moment. We'll be back. Has been able to score a pinfall or a submission hold. And the Rock is in there scoring beautifully with a high drop kick. Takes the Nasty Boy off his feet. Mickey J down there totaling the count. And what a tremendous thing this would be for the Star Riders. Even though this is not a title match, if they should score a win over the Nasty Boys now, and they've got them in trouble, no question about it, this would put them in #1 contention for the Florida Tag Team Championship. So the Nasty Boys put a lot on the line when they decided to take on the challenge of the Star Riders today. Thanks to Troy Franklin of Tampa for his letter about the blast from the past. you have any suggestions on matches that you'd like to see in Blast from the Past, why, drop us a note. Just write me at 106 North Albany in Tampa, 33606, 33606. And the Nasty Boys in trouble again as the Star Riders are trying desperately to turn this tide of battle, and they're beginning to do exactly that. Watch out, the rock. Down on the back of the Nasty Boy. And the referee, Mickey J., sending Blade outside the ring. Gripping the head. Of course, you control the head, you control the rest of the body, that's for sure. And again, the crowd picking up. You see the sign in the back, the Nasty #1 boys. And for the moment they are. But you've still got Johnny Ace, the Terminator, the Star Riders, and many others looking to garner that Florida Tag Team Championship that they hold. Blade moves back in, and he had a brief respite. Brought him up into a full body slam. The Blade tips the scales at about 240. And now it's, he came down. The Nasty Boy rolled to one side just in time. So the Blade in trouble once again. Slam again, and now the Nasty Boys really beginning to take charge. Jamming their heads together. Now with all four of them in the ring at the same time. Two of them are out. The Rock's the only one left. He catches him perfectly. Executed power slam. Wait a second. The Terminator and Johnny Ace hitting the ring. Terminator and Johnny Ace. And they're after one thing, and that's the Nasty Boys. Caught him on the side of the head. Referee Mickey J. trying to get some order restored in the ring. And Johnny Ace, catching the other Nasty Boy moving into the ring, hurdles him back outside the ring once again. Johnny Ace outside, battling away with him. And we've got a Pier Sixer going on in the middle of the ring. The Terminator hurdled out of the ring. And the Nasty Boys follow him. And the Star Riders have decided to leave the scene. But meanwhile, they're battling it out here on the concrete. And referee Mickey J. desperately trying to get this situation back under control. We've said before, they want these titles, and they're doing everything they can to get them. They continue to battle all the way outside and rapidly getting out of camera range. And the battle wages on, as you can...
This is the semifinal match now of the Florida Heavyweight Championship Tournament, and it's boiled now down to the Missouri Mauler and Dusty Rhodes. And the Mauler now pressing his advantage over Dusty Rhodes. Dusty Rhodes, who's been battling long and hard, trying to gain the Florida Heavyweight Championship that was vacated by Steve Keirn due to Steve Keirn's injury. And Steve Keirn, of course, is on hand here before a capacity crowd at the Bayfront Center with the Florida Heavyweight Championship belt ready to present it to the winner. Rhodes ducks under a wild right hand by the Missouri Mauler. Rhodes catches him with an elbow, catches him once again. Rhodes in an inverted press. The count of three. Dusty Rhodes has now moved into the finals. Dusty Rhodes has now moved into the finals. But the matches this night have taken their toll on Dusty Rhodes, and now the Missouri Mauler, frustrated because of his loss, closes in on Dusty Rhodes, putting the Missouri boots to him. And now you see the finalist, along with Dusty Rhodes, the other finalist, Bob Roop, the former Olympian, wrestled in the 1968 Olympics, now moving in. And the Mauler Moving outside the ring now, Dusty Rhodes having his hand raised in victory, but Dusty Rhodes has been badly battered by his opponents. The Missouri Mauler now leaving the ring after those cheap shots after the bell had rung. And now it's Bob Roop, who bills himself as the All-American, charges Dusty Rhodes, and it is Rhodes ducking out of the way. Roop catches that ring post. Rhodes now crashes down with an elbow. Roop rolls out of the way once again. These are the finals, the final match. The winner of this match will be the Florida heavyweight champion. Rhodes caught with a neck breaker. Rhodes caught with a neck breaker by Bob Roop, and Bob Roop now into the lateral press. Rhodes powers out just before the count of 3. Rhodes gamely getting back to his feet now. Stardust himself caught again, broke up the neck breaker. Very nice move by Rhodes. He broke up the neck breaker, came down with that bionic elbow. Here you see the Missouri Mauler charging in there once again, interfering in the match. There must be a winner, however. This is a one-night tournament to decide the Florida heavyweight champion. Now watch this. Bob Roop catches Dusty Rhodes. The Mauler squares off. Rhodes ducks out of the way. It is Roop who is caught. Dusty Rhodes pins those shoulders for a count of 3, and Dusty Rhodes has won the Florida Heavyweight Wrestling Championship. A very disgruntled, unhappy Bob Roop. And now let's listen to these words from the vacating champion, Steve Keirn.
Lou Perez, 1 fall with television time remaining. In our time, there's the bell. And we might have to call this one very, very quickly. And Ace charging away at Brett Sawyer. And it's Sawyer retaliating very handily. Sawyer catches him very nicely. Full arm drag and twist by Ace. And now he tags up with the Terminator. Off the ropes. Caught him very nicely with an elbow. And it's Lightning Lou Perez making the tag. Double flying drop kick by Sawyer and Perez. Excellent move by Perez as he took his man down, but the Terminator at 265 pounds back up front. And now a full arm drag and twist by Lightning Lou. Leapfrog up and over his man, catches him, wing over takedown. By the way, be sure to tune in to Tom Rivers on WQIK during this next week and try your hand at the wrestling trivia questions each day around 12:30. You'll be asking, I'll be asking a special trivia question. And if you're the winner, you might win one of the championship wrestling trivia games itself. Well, our time limit is rapidly expiring. And the battle goes on. Wait a minute. The Nasty Boys have just returned to action. The Nasty Boys have just returned to action. And a double high backdrop. And our time is completely gone. We'll see you next week here on Florida Championship Wrestling. Brett Sawyer in the ring momentarily. 1 fall, a 10-minute time limit. Star Riders, of course, thrown out quite a challenge. They want the Florida Tag Team Championship, currently held by the Nasty Boys. Brett Sawyer and Dustin Rhodes. Dustin Rhodes, 6'5", 245 pounds. Son of the American Dream. Mickey J is our referee. Waiting now for the bell. And And so the bell is rung. This match is underway. Say a special hi to all of my good friends, George Chu, Casey, Susan, and all out at Mr. C's, located at Buffalo and Highland. That's where Lou Perez went off on his dream date. Specialize in Mandarin cooking, and it is outstanding. All right. Played in the rock, and it is Brett Sawyer catching him with a beautiful drop kick. Took the rock off his feet. All right, referee Mickey J warning him to keep in their corner. Our riders would like very, very much to get the Nasty Boys in the ring for a title match. And a beautiful cross-body block. Almost had the Star Rider down from the ground. Brett Sawyer, of course, from St. Petersburg, an outstanding amateur background. And here's a man who went to the state finals up in North Carolina, Dustin Rhodes. And Rhodes, very well indeed. And you hear the chant being picked up by the crowds here at the studio. Go, Dustin, go. And Dustin tripped up. Dustin down to the canvas now. He's got some problems. He was double teamed very quickly. Started to go the front chancery, and hold on a second. We've got Mark Starr charging the ring, and Jim Backlund in there. We've got it. All right, they're calling for the bell. We've got 4-on-2 right now. Played the rock. Backlund and Mark Starr against Dustin Rhodes and Brett Sawyer. They said they'd catch up with him. And again, it's Backlund putting that noose around the neck of hold on! The Nasty Boys just hit the ring. The Nasty Boys just hit the ring. Florida Tag Team Champions. And the Nasty Boys are beginning to even the score now. We've got a wild. Well, it's an 8-man Texas tornado match, if you will. They're coming at you from all sides now. The Nasty Boys pounding away. Now we're going to have to get some kind of order restored here. We've got him, got Backlund in all kinds of trouble here. And now Dustin Rhodes catching up with Mark Starr. Dustin Rhodes still with that rope around his neck. The Nasty Boys trying to get things settled here. The Star Riders wanted some of the Nasty Boys. They've got some of the Nasty Boys. Oh, brother. Man, you talk about cleaning house. The Nasty Boys, Brett Sawyer and Dustin Rhodes just cleaned house in the middle of the ring. Right now in action against the Terminator. And here's a young man whose ambition knows no bounds whatsoever. He's an outstanding athlete. Lightning Lou Perez, the Rookie of the Year. And he's still got his sights set on Eric Embry, Dick Slater. And I think he'd like to beat Slater just for the sake of beating him. Even though at that time, when that particular piece of video was tape recorded, Slater did in fact hold the championship. 1 fall, 10 minutes. The Terminator now against Lightning Lou Perez. Collar and elbow, and it is the Terminator exhibiting some tremendous strength there. So Perez is going to have to reconsider his approach. Straight on again, and again the Terminator was able to outpower him. Lou's about 224, 225 pounds, right in that vicinity. The Terminator, 265. Aha! And so Perez used weight and leverage that time. That's the name of the game. Your skill and weight and leverage, and so he got him pretty well. Side headlock now by Lightning Lou Perez. Got him with a shoulder smash, and the Terminator took that one head on. Took another one head on, and Perez is going to find out. Approaching him from... Approaching him from the front is not the way to go. Hey, wow! Terminator, busy congratulating himself, got caught with a flying drop. Two beautiful spin under takedown. And an inside armbar by Lightning Lou Perez. Lightning Lou Perez. Going to take charge of the situation. This week and this week only, of course, Championship Wrestling will be on Friday night the 18th. Friday night the 18th at the Sportatorium. Good move by Perez. Terminator drops to the canvas. Perez. High hit. And a spin and a takedown by Lightning Lou Perez. And so the Terminator suddenly finding out that he's got his hands full.
How about it, Terminator?
Mickey J watching him carefully. Nasty Boys, of course, the Florida Tag Team Champions. U.S. Steel, the Florida Heavyweight Champion. Steel had made the promise that if he didn't win the title, he would leave town. But he said he had no intentions of leaving town, and he proved his point. And now challenges are coming in from all over the country. I'm talking about fellas that are ranging anywhere from 265 to 350 pounds that are challenging U.S. Steel. Neck breaker on Lightning Lou Perez. And Perez could be in serious trouble now. Perez came up very slowly. No, nice move by Perez. Almost had it. He might have had some extra leverage that time. Now Tyree Pride in there. He apparently saw it the way I did. And so Lightning Lou Perez. Wait a minute, the Terminator after Perez and after Tyree Pride. And the Terminator misses that time. Double drop kick. Concrete outside the ring.
Come on, black boy! Yeah, come on! Got to get straight here, man.
I'll tell you what. He saw the same thing I did. He certainly saw the trunks being.
What happened, Gordon? Who's Tyree Pride think he is, huh?
Diablo and Jim Backlund, one fall, a 10-minute time limit.
A lot of hot air over here, man. God.
Well, I don't think that's necessary.
To put the AC on. There's that new revived Scott Hall out there, Mr. Aggression.
Well, Scott Hall is certainly one of the most impressive competitors I've ever seen. 275 pounds, 6'6", and makes Tom Selleck jealous.
Gotta hand it to you on that one, baby. Woo!
Man, Backlund took a bad shoulder that time. Well, there's Bill Floyd and little Kellen waving to the camera. Bill Floyd, of course, one of the... oh, look at the little fella.
He hated him seeing him taking that fall. He took a good one.
Bill Floyd.
You gotta hit Jimmy Backlund, though, a lot harder than that, baby, to keep him down.
Well, I'll have to agree with that. And he just hit him a little harder. Almost had him down. Bill Floyd and his son-in-law Don, Darrell, and Kellen, his two grandsons, with him. Jim Backlund outside the ring, and Scott Hall standing tall. Backlund coming back in rather slowly now. I think Backlund's beginning to wish he were somewhere else. Makes the tag with El Diablo.
I always teach my boys, get him in and out with a quick tag. Gotta have time to recover, baby. Gotta have time to recover.
Aha! Gator Keirn catches this man. Full arm drag and twist now.
Woo! Wally!
We'll be seeing the Nasty Boys in action a little bit later on. We'll be hearing from the Terminator and Johnny Ace. And, of course, we do have that Florida heavyweight title match upcoming.
What is that? Whoa!
Brought him up and dumped him very nicely.
I hate to admit this, but I think I have personally motivated Steve Wally Gator Keirn there, man, since I've got here and put this man in his place. He's gotten a little more aggressive, a little more badder, and definitely looking much sharper in the ring here.
Interesting observation from Diamond Dallas Page. El Diablo. Firing back. Scott Hall suddenly explodes on Jim Backlund and El Diablo. Tag is made, and Steve Keirn gets set to move back into the ring. Pair of elbows that time into the chest, and now it's Steve Keirn. Smashing El Diablo into the far turnbuckles. Again, the tag is made. Scott Hall moves in, catches his man. Power slam to the canvas. Count of three, a count of three. Backlund hurdled from the ring, and so Scott Hall and Gator Keirn emerge victorious in this match. His title against the Blade. One fall, television time remaining. Mike Graham very quickly locks up a quick single leg pickup.
I want to say about that Kim Devane, baby. She does have two great possibilities there, baby. You know what I'm talking about.
She's a lovely lady.
Yeah, baby. No,
not too fond of you.
Well, baby, she hasn't met me yet. All we've done is talked on the phone. Hey, to know me is to love me.
Oh, boy.
Baby, she ain't getting it. When I pick her up in my personalized limousine, baby, she gets wined and dined. Believe me, she'll be putty in my hands. She'll be begging me.
It is the Blade getting to those ring ropes now. Remember now, if in case you've tuned in just a little bit late, the Florida Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Mike Graham, in the black trunks, is the champion. Full Nelson. Drops out of that. Double forward leg pickup. And goes back to a toe hold. Blade. Moved neatly on that one, but Graham rolls right back into it again.
You know, a typical move with women has been with me, Gordo, and I want to point this out here, is when they think they come off like I can't have them, they know instinctively that what you can't have is what you want. And that's all that she's trying to do there. It's just a simple woman's way of doing things. I think that's pretty evident.
I think you've said enough about that. Mike Graham up against those ring ropes there, and you saw the Blade getting some extra action by grabbing the hair on the head of Mike Graham. The Florida title on the line. Mike Graham giving away a little bit of poundage here, probably about 25, 30 pounds. But he's got the edge and experience. He's a second generation. Again, the Blade
Great
catching
move.
some extra leverage. Mickey J warning the Blade about this.
Hey, whatever it takes, Gordo. You know that.
Well,
this is wrestling.
The Blade will make the biggest mistake in his life if he decides he wants to do whatever it takes. Because Mike Graham has got one of the most powerful... beautiful move by Graham, brings this man up. And the Blade's got some problems now with that left leg.
Getting back to your comment about giving up weight, I don't think that's ever a matter with Graham.
All right, I see your point. All right. Mike Graham back, concentrating on that left leg. Keeping the pressure on the Blade. I have to hand it to Mike for putting his title on the line here on television. He's in a compressed time frame to begin with, so that mounts more pressure on him. Number two, he's risking his title, basically, if you will, and I don't mean to sound mercenary, but before a free audience.
You know, man, that's what a champion's got to do day in and day out.
Graham back on his feet, backs away. The Blade now nursing that left leg, and he's beginning to have some problems with it. Once again, they lock up collar and elbow, and the Blade ripping across the eyes of Mike Graham, drives him back into that corner. And Graham caught with a hard right hand. Blade charges in, drives that knee to the midsection of Mike Graham. And the crowd beginning to pick up the chant on Mike Graham, go, Mike, go.
I thought it was go, Blade, go. Is that what they're saying?
Nope, that was go, Mike. A snap mare by the Blade has Graham back down once again.
Some wrestling fans are functional illiterates. Stunning.
Graham catching those knees right in the middle of the back, right square between the shoulder blades. You see it, the Florida title on the line, and right now the champion is in trouble. Double rear chin lock on Graham, and he's driving that knee in between the shoulder blades, mounting more pressure on him. Graham, of course, a former power lifter.
Great power move right here,
Yep,
baby.
he did indeed. He powered out of it.
Oh.
And, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have to cut away here in just a moment for a commercial message. So we'll be back with more action.
I can't believe the action that's been happening in the last 2 minutes here, Gordo. It's heating up. I think the Blade's going to take it.
Well, Mike Graham is in trouble right now. Graham hooks him very nicely. Outside cradle and almost had his man. And that's the thing that the Blade better watch out for, is Mike Graham will always go back to the basics, and he has a vastly superior knowledge of the sport. Graham driving that knee into the side of the throat now of the Blade. And so moments ago it looked like Graham was in trouble. Now I would say, belly to back. Supplé on the Blade, and the Blade took a lot of punishment down there around the lower thoracic area of the back. All right, Mike Graham moves into him once again, brings him up. A full body slam. And so Mike Graham now beginning to dominate once again, going for the figure four.
No, not this again.
He's going for the Eddie Graham figure four. And, brother, I'll tell you, Mike's got a patent on that hold, and the Blade is in trouble. The Blade in a lot of trouble as Graham keeps the pressure on. I got to say this much for the Blade. He is desperately holding on.
Got to get to the ropes.
And makes it to the ropes.
Beautiful. It's like he heard me. It was like ESP.
Graham back on his feet, but the Blade knows now the problems he's got, and the Blade goes outside the ring.
Smart move.
Well, a deliberate attempt to stall here.
Hey, he's got 10. He's a smart man.
The Blade moving back inside once again, and Graham stalking him like a cougar. Moves in arm.
Beautiful.
Graham again in trouble. And the Blade does have great resiliency, no question about that.
The man is like a ball of fire with pain running right through his face. You can tell how much pain he's in already.
And again, Graham with a single leg pick up on the back leg. Trip takes the Blade back to the canvas, and again he goes for the figure four. He goes for the figure four, and he's got it on him now. And this could be the finale for the Blade in his quest for the Florida Heavyweight Championship. He can't, I don't think he can make it to those ropes.
Get to the ropes.
And he'd better concede soon, or he's going to feel pain like he's never felt it before.
Permanent damage.
There's no question in my mind about that, Dallas.
But this way, he's a brain, but he's also a psychomaniac at the same time. Got to shoot him. If Graham's got a gun in his shorts right there, he might be there. He knows he's going to wear him down. He's just wearing him down.
Graham brings him up once again, smashes the Blade's head into the turnbuckle. Graham catches him a chop in the throat. A right hand to the side of the jaw, snapmare that takes him back to the canvas. Mickey J down there, tolling the count, only a 2 count. This Blade is resilient.
Let me ask you a question, Gordo. How many men have you seen go through 2 figure 4 leg locks when it comes to Mike Graham, huh?
Hey, wait a second. The Rock just charged in the ring. The Rock just charged in the ring. The referee calling for the bell.
I don't understand that.
The Blade disqualified. And Mike Graham out there pounding away. Ooh, caught from behind. And that looks like it is. That is Al Perez. They've got him up in a backbreaker. He's got him up in that.
Oh, woo!
Graham down and in trouble. And wait a second. The Star Rider's not hanging on. And wait a minute. Al Perez has grabbed a steel chair. What's... Oh, thank him. I thought he was going to hit him. Oh, no. No, I thought he was going to hit him with it, but look at this. This is totally diabolical.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Came right down. Oh.
Lord have mercy.
Came down with those cowboy boots right across Mike Graham's arm. And Graham
I think he broke it, baby. I think he broke it.
Well, it might be. It might be broken, and we've got a wild melee going on now, but they're all trying to attend to Mike Graham. And I don't know how badly he's hurt, but I heard that scream of pain all the way across the studio. when he came down with that cowboy boot on that steel.
And jammed, waiting for this match now between Big Dusty, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. There you see him moving into the ring, going up against Terry Funk, younger brother of the former world heavyweight champion Dory Funk Jr. Terry Funk. You'll note now as he gets into the ring, his eye covered. This is the eye that was severely injured by Dusty Rhodes earlier, and Terry Funk is seeking vengeance, and this man is unquestionably an ally of Gary Hart's army. Am I right, Mr. Hart?
The man came to Miami Beach for one thing, to get revenge on Dusty Rhodes, because Terry Funk is just not a normal individual. He wants revenge. He lives on violence. He's probably the most violent man in the wrestling business. He's even more violent than Dusty Rhodes, as you can see right there, with his eye taped up. He has a patch over his eye, had been injured very, very badly by Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, but you see him throwing 280 pounds through the ropes.
There's 280 pounds coming back through the ropes, and Mr. Hart, it appears to me that you were interfering here.
No, I wasn't. This was a tag match. If you see, I'm in my tights, and I was just trying to get a few free shots in on the big white whale.
Dusty Rhodes still dominating at this point.
You realize that Terry Funk is from probably the greatest wrestling family in the world today. Violent. Him and his brother both have came here to take care of Dusty Rhodes for me. They have came in as bounty hunters for Gary Hart. I'm the only man in wrestling that can acquire services such as Terry Funk, ex-world's heavyweight champion Dory Funk Jr. And Terry Funk wants to get a hold of Dusty Rhodes worse than anything else.
Terry Funk hurdling Dusty Rhodes out of the ring, follows him out of the ring at this point. And here's where anything goes and does go. Watch here, Terry Funk smash down on that railing, and watch Dusty Rhodes throwing caution to the wind, smashing away at Terry Funk. Rhodes coming back into the ring, Funk back into the ring, and I must admit that Terry Funk can take a tremendous amount of punishment.
Like I said, Terry Funk has one thing in mind and one thing only, revenge, and he'll pay any price. If you notice, Terry Funk, as I said before, now here you go. Here comes a little bit of the sweet revenge. 2, 3.
The American
4.
is in trouble now.
He is in a lot of trouble, baby. He's laying down like a big beach whale.
Talk about main event matches, Gordon Soley. Take a look at this.
Absolutely. The Italian Stallion and the natural Dustin Rhodes going up against the Southern Force, Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers.
You know, this match right here could top any card in any arena across the country. And the people right here watching the Pro Wrestling Federation today are seeing it for NO. I'm talking about the Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart, the Southern Force, against Dustin Rhodes, the Punk, and the Italian Stallion, the Goop.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let's not be judging quite so critically, quite so early, my friend. Admittedly, Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers have an experience edge, but I don't know whether they've got the same kind of desire you'd find in the Italian Stallion or Dustin Rhodes.
You know where their desire lies? Their desire lies in pleasing
he might
me.
have him. No, sir. Count of 2.
Their desire lies in pleasing me. The Southern Force have told me that anything I need, anything I want at any time, they're more than capable of producing for me.
Well, that, of course, remains to be seen. All right, the Italian Stallion squares off, collar and elbow once again against Black Bart in the center of the ring. And it's Black Bart getting the advantage and the momentum on that one, takes him back into the turnbuckle. Referee Mickey J calling for the break. Black Bart charges in with a shoulder and again into the midsection of the Italian Stallion. Nice reversal by the Stallion.
You know, the Italian Stallion has got that classic Roman nose. It's Roman all over his face.
Hey, double drop kicks here by the Italian Stallion, and caught both Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart. Has them both out. A couple of high fives there with the natural on the Stallion.
Now, there's a classic example of the more intelligent wrestlers taking to the higher ground at the right time. Black Bart and Bobby Jaggers right now on the outside of the ring discussing strategy, getting it all pulled back together again for a mounting offensive coming up here with the Italian Stallion. And it looks like it's going to be Black Bart continuing the action here.
It is indeed. Black Bart moves back into the ring. Now he makes the tag. now the tag is made.
Bobby Jaggers out of the state of Kansas, one of the Jayhawks. Rough and tough individual, not afraid to get down and dirty, not afraid to bite a guy in the nose if that's what it calls for. This guy right here is about as rugged as they come, Gordon.
They square up once again, and this time it's Hangman Bobby Jaggers.
I hate that kid. I hate this kid.
Jaggers?
No, the kid.
Oh, I wouldn't refer to that man as a kid if I were you.
Well, he's got a long way to go. He's not even dry behind the ears yet. He's got a long way to go, and I'm going to make every step of that journey to manhood for him the roughest thing he'll ever have to do.
Right now, he squares off, and it is Hangman Bobby Jaggers, full arm drag and twist. Nice reversal by Dustin Rhodes.
Looks like Bobby Jaggers just got in off the trail. He's got about 3 days growth on there. Looks pretty rugged. He looks like he's been out on the trail, maybe branded doggies or something.
Well, I'll tell you what, the natural now. A series of takedowns, and now as Black Bart came charging in, the Italian Stallion was right there on the spot.
Now, what was the Italian Stallion doing into the ring when the legal man in the ring was Dustin the Punk Rhodes?
Well,
what is he doing in there?
You had all four of them in there. You certainly can't.
Baloney. The other guy only came in when the Italian Stallion came in. This is obviously unfair, and you're obviously a biased journalist. Let's call things as we see them here, Gordon Soley. Infractions being perpetrated on the side of the natural and the Italian Stallion.
Well, your ocular observations differ from mine.
Leave my oculars out of this.
All right, it's the natural now. The Hangman and Black Bart don't appear to be too anxious to tangle up much more. All right, Hangman Bobby Jaggers gets the side headlock.
Just called baiting the trap.
Uh-huh.
A little hair there. Did you see that hair pulling?
Nope,
I saw a little hair pulling there. Look at there. The referee's even asking about it. I'm sure I saw it.
I'll tell you what, they're doing some marvelous things with laser surgery now. And maybe...
I've heard all about the laser surgery.
Might help your eyes somewhat, maybe.
Oh, my eyes. Oh. Does this kid look like the old man or what?
I'll tell you what. I could show you pictures of a few years back, and Dusty was at West Texas State.
Yeah.
And spitting image, no question about that. Hangman Bobby Jaggers has got himself a problem right now. Dustin Rhodes keeping the arm bar. Jaggers taking a shortcut, ripped across the eyes, but very quickly Dustin Rhodes is in there.
A hold like that arm bar too, Gordon, is particularly effective with a guy like Rhodes because he's got a size advantage on these guys. And when he slaps that on and cranks it up, well, brother, you feel it from your shoulder all the way down to the tips of your fingers.
Black Bart trying to get some extra leverage that time, caught very quickly by a very alert Mickey J.
Yeah, what's Mickey J's last name? Mouse?
I don't think that comment even deserves or qualifies for an answer. Black Bart.
Look at Pizza Breast standing on the apron here. He doesn't even want any part of these guys, does he? He's letting this punk take do all the dirty work, and he's standing there. Oh, here he comes.
Tag is made. The Italian Stallion getting set to move into the ring. He does, and I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short commercial break, and then we'll be right back. Neither team has been able to score a pinfall or a submission hold while we were away. And so the match does continue. It's the Southern Force, Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers against...
The Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart have been repeatedly pounding Dustin Rhodes. The kid really needs to get over there and make a tag, but I don't think the Hangman and Black Bart are going to let him get anywhere close to that corner. As you can see, the Italian Stallion trying to come in, but the referee alertly putting him out now.
Well, I must admit things aren't looking too good right now for Dustin Rhodes. Oh, man, double teaming him coming off the ropes. Black Bart down across the throat. And Dustin Rhodes does indeed have his own problems here.
I thought I noticed the Italian Stallion growing a little mustache there.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he must be trying to look more like his mother.
Oh, really? No.
Tasteless, huh?
Yes, really. Tasteless. Ethnic humor is the thing of the past, my friend. All right, it's the hangman, Bobby Jaggers, coming off the ropes and caught Dustin Rhodes, and that one may have been a bit low, in my opinion. There's the hangman by Bobby Jaggers. And Dustin Rhodes powers out. That's right.
That's unbelievable. This kid is taking an exorbitant amount of punishment and keeps fighting back. I can tell he's a Rhodes. He's got that Rhodes drive and that Rhodes stamina, but he really needs to get a tag, because if he doesn't take his part of the Italian Stallion, the curtain's going to be falling quick on young Dustin Rhodes.
Well, you're speaking very confidently, Sir Oliver Humperdinck, but you can see the concern written across the face of some of the folks that are here at Florida Championship Wrestling, and Dustin Rhodes is so near and yet so far, could not make that
He might as well be a
contact.
million miles, Gordon. He might as well be a million miles away. Unless he can get that tag. Look at this guy coming in again. He can't be coming in like that.
Well, look at the way they're double teaming on Dustin right
I don't
now.
see nothing like that. Get that guy out of the ring. He's got no business in there.
And so, battle going on as the Italian Stallion leaves the ring, and Hangman Bobby Jaggers continues to press his advantage.
You know, I just might have a little bit of money up, too, to anybody that can put this kid out of the business. You never thought of that, did you?
You're thinking about putting a bounty on him?
Well, you never know. A lot of men do a lot of strange things for the big bucks. And maybe a couple bucks in this kid's head will rid me of him.
Rather, Black Bart just caught him with a lariat coming off the ropes that time, and Dustin went
It's
down.
all over. Whoa!
Yes, sir, it's not all over. Great second effort again on the part of Dustin.
Black Bart now with that reverse chin lock.
Well, I'll
Got
tell you, when the
snapped in there.
fans started calling him the natural, they pegged him right.
He is a natural athlete. I think he was a star baseball player when he went to school down there in Texas.
And football, and wrestling.
Yeah.
Went to the finals. I mean, the guy is the guy.
Well, right now he better go to the corner, Gordon. I don't know about the finals, but he better get off his back and get over to the corner, or he's going to be in even more serious trouble than he's in now.
Hangman Bobby Jaggers regains his feet first, and the tag is made. And the Italian Stallion comes charging in with a series of hard right hands to the side of the jaw. Stallion catches him with an elbow that time.
This guy's a madman. Look at him.
He is on fire right now. He's had a chance for some respite, and now he is back in action. Wow, you talk about payback.
Wait a minute.
Jaggers' eyes are crossed. Those running lights got... wait a minute. Referee Mickey J hurtled out of the ring. And
Was that a branding iron? That's a branding iron he's got in there. Look at that. Double B, Black Bart, branding iron. And I think you're going to be branding some people around here. That's what it looks like.
well, the referee outside the ring calling for the bell. Dustin Rhodes comes in, catches that both of them, and Dustin Rhodes has that branding iron in his hand.
I don't know if we can get a shot at the Italian Stallion right now, but his, as you say, his face has become a crimson mask.
Well,
They
that
busted.
branding iron caught him right in the head.
Oh, goodness.
So Black Bart brought in that branding iron.
Now, if you look at the ring, Gordon Soley, who's got the branding iron? Young Dustin Rhodes.
Yeah, but he
Well, as
didn't
I'm
bring it in
concerned,
the
he's the one
ring.
that brought it in the ring.
No, Black Bart brought it in, lacerated the Italian Stallion, and luckily that Dustin Rhodes was able to charge in there and break that up. And so the match will go to, in my opinion, goes to the Italian Stallion and to Dustin Rhodes, but they're down now checking this.
This is a horrible example, but I think Mr. Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart want to make sure that people around here take him seriously, and certainly from this point on, the Italian
Steve
Stallion.
Keirn, Mike Graham, and Scott Hall going up against Mark Starr, Jim Backlund, and the Gladiator.
Got the champion out there, and you saw him at the homecoming. Take it again, baby, from Lightning Lou. The man is a bad sucker, boy, right there, Jimmy Backlund. I like him a lot.
Mike Graham still nursing injuries that he received from Al Perez. Dustin Rhodes, of course, had an injured leg. But both of them back in action, and good go behind on the part of Mike Graham. Almost had Backlund into a pinning combination. Backlund slipped away. A Well, the name on the marquee is wrestling, and I'll guarantee you get fellows out there like Mike Graham, Steve Keirn, Scott Hall, Jim Backlund, Mark Starr, or the Gladiator. You're going to find wrestling, that's for sure. Full arm drag and twist. Now it moves up into an arm bar on Backlund. Backlund, of course, the Professional Wrestling Federation junior heavyweight champion, and a good shoulder smash by Graham. Graham brings him up. Full body slam on Backlund. Caught him again. Wing over takedown.
The quickness of these two is staggering to the mind, baby. When these two run, it is non-stop action. The fans are going crazy. Functional literates, and most of them are. Beautiful, beautiful.
Keirn caught in the side headlock. Fires off. Caught with a shoulder smash. Dropped to the canvas. And Keirn caught him that time. The Gator got him.
Wally Gator.
Speaking of Wally Gator, we will be in Gainesville in the near future at the beautiful Stephen O'Connell Center. Looking forward to returning to the home of the sensational Florida Gators.
Paul put him in the air. I think he put him on the third floor, women's lingerie up there. Good God.
Mark Starr moving out against Scott Hall. Scott Hall, 6'6", 275 pounds. Off the ropes, and neither man went down. Mark Starr fires off at that time. Scott Hall caught him very nicely, and Hall had that big size number 12 in the air, and Mark Starr backed away from it. Hall brings him back out into the center of the ring, punishing those quadriceps femoris muscles.
Paul looks like a man with a mission out there, Godden, doesn't he? I don't think I've seen him look this good.
You're seeing a changed Mike Graham, too, I might add. And Graham very quickly going for that figure four.
Beautiful, baby.
Mark Starr makes it over to the ring ropes, but he had plenty of worries on his mind. Now the Gladiator moves out.
Real heads-up move there by Mr. Starr, didn't you think?
Well, I have to admit that.
For a young kid.
Mike Graham stinging from a very, very controversial defeat for his Florida heavyweight championship.
I told the world the boy was going to drop him, baby. And he did.
And Steve Keirn back in there. Yeah, you were about half right, Dallas. You sure were 100% wrong when the Steel Man went against Dusty Rhodes.
Go on, give me your break. Since when do you listen to me anyway? All of a sudden you're my stenographer?
Not hardly.
Just a matter of time before justice will prevail and the big Steel Man is wearing it around his waist. I'm talking about the gold, baby.
Time will tell. All right, the Gladiator moves, charges in, and Scott Hall ducked to one side. Hall catches him. A lariat that put him to the canvas. And it's Mike Graham moving in very quickly. And now as Backlund charges in and Mark Starr charges in, Keirn and Hall break him off, and Mike Graham's got that figure four. The Gladiator concedes. The Gladiator conceding very, very quickly. And so, one fall with television time remaining. And Dustin Rhodes, I'll tell you what, I was concerned about that leg, but he's out there. He has the one a little more heavily wrapped than the other. 6'4", 250 pounds, going up against a man who certainly has a long edge on him in experience. But right now, Hangman Bobby Jaggers has got his hands full.
Well, like you said, man, Bobby's been around the block once or twice. It's going to take more than a couple of whippings to take him down, brother. Speaking back to my main man, the Terminator over there, I think he made a very valid point, and I think everyone really knows where he's coming from now, baby. And he is after the title, and nothing's going to stop him because it just doesn't matter.
Dustin Rhodes punishing the shoulder and the deltoids of Hangman Bobby Jaggers. Jaggers now jams that heel of the hand underneath the chin of Dustin Rhodes, the natural forearm, and Rhodes fires back. I'll tell you what, Dusty has every right to be proud of this young fellow. He's got that that inbred courage that you find in the Rhodes family. No question about that.
Yeah.
Jaggers back up again, but Jaggers not so pleased right now. I think Jaggers might have come into this match a tad overconfident. And if he had paid serious attention to that match between Terry Funk and Dustin Rhodes, I think he would not have come in quite so confident.
Speaking of that match there, you know, I got to say, I really love the way Terry handled the whole thing there. I think he really took care of business. He set out to do a mission. My man humped right ringside with him. Right there he is again. And he just sort of worked the whole thing away. I thought it looked perfect. I thought he did exactly, he told the world what he was going to do. And at the opening of this program, if they missed that, oh, God, that man is a monster. He's great, man. But when he said, when Hump told me he was going out and finding the most vicious people in the world, and he started with him, these guys, and the Bull, good God, baby. It's just a matter of time before the legend dies.
Jaggers taking a shortcut there, jammed a thumb into the eye of the natural Dustin Rhodes and slapped that head into the turnbuckles. And Mickey J calling for the break, as well he should.
Yeah, listen to that, Bobby.
Well, I'll tell you,
Beautiful short clothesline.
That short lariat, the natural down, but he powered out. And so, Dusty was able to power away once again, and now, Hangman Bobby Jaggers. Double rear chin lock. Crowd picking up that chant for Dustin Rhodes. And again, Jaggers drives him back to the canvas.
These people disgust me, God, and you know, they want to see the legend keep on going, the American dream continuing, and they're trying to live it through this Dustin guy here, man. I'm not going to take anything away from the natural because the kid does have serious talent. I can't take that away from him. But he is not the American dream, and he never will be.
Well, that's a debatable point. Sir Oliver Humperdinck, we noticed that intensity on his face, and Dustin Rhodes had some problems. Drove him into the turnbuckle, then caught him again with a lariat into the throat. Those percussions now beginning to take their toll. And it's Dustin Rhodes ducking to one side. Dustin, elbow to the top of the head. Irish whip. And it's Jaggers caught. Beautiful high backdrop by the natural. Dustin. Uppercut, and now Dustin Rhodes. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a second.
Sir
Oliver Humperdinck, after that leg.
He tried to kick Humperdinck. I saw him right from here, God.
He didn't try and kick him at all.
He tried to kick Humperdinck right in the face.
No, sir. Humperdinck reached out and grabbed that foot.
That's not what I saw.
Jaggers came off the ropes, but it was Dustin Rhodes who caught him coming in. Dustin Rhodes. And now Humperdinck comes crawling in there again.
The manager again. What is this?
Sir Oliver Humperdinck has no business in there, none whatsoever.
He reached over, grabbed Hump by the hair and pulled him in.
If anybody comes into that ring,
grab that sucker.
Oh man! Wait a minute. The referee calling for the bell. Outside interference. Black Bart just charged the ring, and Black Bart just upended the referee. Now Black Bart. Now what is he doing now?
He's
oh, man, they've got him.
The manager, nothing riles us more than that.
Oh, right down on the leg again.
Beautiful.
And Dustin Rhodes beginning to writhe in pain, and they are just having themselves a heyday. The Italian Stallion came moving in.
That piece of breath, he's out of here. Woo! Beautiful. I'll tell you, every time you put your hands on a manager, this is what you can expect to happen. Brand them.
Come on.
Brand them. Double B.
Oh, man, that's terrible. That's terrible. They branded him on the back, just like you would a steer. And now we've got Dusty Rhodes and Dick Slater out there. And Sir Oliver Humperdinck, Black Bart, and Hangman Bobby Jaggers beating a hasty retreat, if you will. And Dustin Rhodes coming up very slowly. And obviously they're very concerned about that right leg. In a steel cage. And here Johnny E certainly holding his own extremely well against the Nasty Boys, Knobs and Sags. And now we've got all four in the ring.
Anytime you have a match like this, Gordon, with 4 competitors that are so eager to get at each other, and even though it's inside a steel cage, the action inside that cage, as you can see, is hot and heavy, brother. And the prize of this match is the Florida Tag Team titles, owned by Johnny Ace and the Terminator at this point. But as you said earlier, a strange turn of events happens here.
It does indeed. Now you see Sags in a lot of trouble here. The Nasty Boys, as you know, Knobs just coming off the injury list. He had a badly separated shoulder. And, of course, the Terminator and Johnny Ace just returning from quite a tour of the Far East. This was at the Bayfront on March 24th. And in the steel cage, the Florida Tag Team Championship on the line. And right now, Knobs looking extremely strong. And it looks to me at this point in time that they've got the Florida Tag Team Championship within their grasp.
It certainly does. This man Knobs is a house of fire right now with a big clothesline to Johnny Ace right there. But the Terminator, quick to break it up. I like this kid, the Terminator.
Now, let me ask you this question. Why are Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers suddenly...
It's quite simple, Gordon Soley. They came down before the match started to challenge the winners of the title match. And they're simply there encouraging...
Now, what he handed the Terminator something.
I didn't see that. That was a little bit...
The branding iron, the double B branding iron. Now, he caught Johnny Ace.
How do you know that belongs to Black Bart?
It stands to reason as far as I'm concerned. All right, Knobs getting the pinfall through some aid here that backfired as far as that part of it goes. The Terminator trying to get the Nasty Boy got his own partner, Johnny Ace, instead. And so the Nasty Boys and Knobs and Sags become the new Florida Tag Team Champions. And this isn't all that happens. This is the interesting aspect of it. Now look at this. Johnny Ace coming up very slowly. He was stunned by that blow into the chest. And he's now trying to explain. And, of course, absolute chaos and bedlam breaking loose here from the standpoint of confusion between Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart. And now look at this.
Johnny Ace simply was in the wrong place at the wrong time, Gordon Soley. First of all, he should have moved out of the way when the Terminator came off with what you call a foreign object. But he's so stupid and so slow that he stood right there. And then Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart come into the ring to congratulate after the match. And then what does he do? He turns his back on them. Well, I'm glad he got jumped, and I'm glad it happened to him. He should have been beat up more.
Well, the
stupid fellow.
Other amazing and very, very disappointing situation about this is that, well, you'll see it as yourself, the Terminator does exactly that. Here's Johnny Ace in tremendous pain. He caught that branding iron once in the chest, once in the pit of the stomach. And Ace looking out for his partner, the Terminator, the one who struck him, inadvertently, admittedly, I have to say that. But now look, referee Mickey J coming up very slowly, and the Terminator turns his back on his partner. Six-man tag team match upcoming now. The Terminator and the Commandos, Ray and Boone, facing Scott Hall, Mike Graham, and Steve Keirn.
What a match this promises to be, Gordon. Big six-man tag team action. I don't want anybody to forget we got the big Florida title match, tag team title match coming up right after this one here. But this one here promises to have a lot of action. You got some big boys in there right now. You got Commando Ray squaring off with young Michael Graham. And the people are really up for this one. They want to see it.
Well, Michael Graham is doing exactly what I thought he would do. He ducked away very nicely, keeping out of the grasp of Commando Ray. And...
you know, Gordon, I'm a little winded. I was just back there. I had to pull Big Steel Man off of Dickie Slater because I thought he was going to kill him.
Huh. I kind of saw it the other way around, Mr. Humperdinck.
Slater's lucky. Look, he got out of here with his life. He's lucky. Here's a kid I like, this Terminator kid. Johnny Ace, if you're barking up this gentleman's tree, brother, you're going to have a lot of trouble coming your way because the Terminator is one fine athlete.
Yeah, the Terminator, a beautiful drop toe hold by Mike Graham. Caught him coming off the ropes. That's the way Mike has crotched that leg, and now tags up Steve Keirn, moves in, and Steve Keirn very quickly driving a knee into those femoris muscles. He's punishing that left leg of the Terminator, who should be called Judas.
Gordon. Just because a man decides to walk his own path, decides to be the captain of his own ship, decides to rewrite his own destiny, you call him Judas?
In deserting his partner the manner in which he did, yes. Very frankly.
His partner was a wimp.
Some good double teaming now as Big Scott Hall, all 6'6" of him, 275 pounds, moves in, and it's Commando Boone. Commando Boone and Commando Ray are two of the biggest men I've seen in the sport in a long time, both of them over 400 pounds. Wow! Hip toss by Hall, and Graham caught him with a short chopping right hand.
An illegal move. I didn't hear nothing coming out of your lips about that.
You know, you fight fire with fire, my friend.
Now, when you look at the six-man combinations we have here today, Gordon Sully, we see two established teams. One of those teams are the Commandos, and the other team is Mike Graham and Steve Keirn, who tag team wrestled for a long, long time around the state of Florida. They're established. They know each other's moves. They can read each other's minds, and they're formidable opponents on any night.
Certainly no question about that. I was talking to my friends the other day out of JJ's.
I've been there.
Oh, yeah. And they all agree that Scott Hall puts Tom Selleck to shame when it comes to looks.
Well,
Scott Hall caught with a shoulder smash by the Terminator. Good leapfrog by Hall. Hall drops to the canvas. Terminator up and over Hall. Up and a drop kick now by Scott Hall. And he moves like a lightweight.
ooh.
Side headlock tag is made. Mike Graham moves into the ring. Mike Graham, one into the side of the rib cage, single leg pickup. And going back after that leg again, the same one that Steve Keirn was concentrating on earlier. The left leg. Take away that one leg, and you really take away an awful lot of attack from a man.
Well, when you're talking smart wrestlers, you're talking Mike Graham, you're talking Steve Keirn, you're talking Scott Hall. These guys know what they're doing every minute of the time. Michael Graham is a guy that likes to work on the legs and go for that figure four submission hold that his father made so famous. And Steve Keirn, of course, being a partner, keeps going for that leg too, softening it up, trying to get that the guy in a position to put that figure four on him. But we got a couple of giants in the ring right now. I'm talking about Big Scott Hall and Commando Ray. This guy is double tough. I don't have to tell anybody he's big because they can see that. But as big as he is, that's how tough he is too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've watched Commander Ray over the years. He's used to cleaning up on people. There's no question about that, and he's doing it right now with Scott Hall. Crashed down as Hall tried to roll away. He caught only part of that impact.
He needs to get a tag here. Commando Ray needs to get a tag. Scott Hall makes a tag to Steve Keirn. He's a house of fire. Look at this.
Off the ropes. Keirn on his back and puts the sleeper hold on him.
Uh-oh. Make the ropes. Get to the ropes. Get to the ropes, Commando Ray.
Keirn has the sleeper hold on. Now we got all six in the ring at one time.
Pandemonium is broken loose. Look
And
at this.
how this man is staying on his feet with that sleeper hold on him, I just don't know. All but unconscious. Mike Graham hurdled from the ring.
Oh!
Wow.
Smooshed.
Caught Keirn. Sandwiched him in between two Mack trucks. That drove the wind out of him. The referee
Double on
knocked
him.
from the ring. The
Double on
referee
him.
calling for the bell. And Commandos were tripped up. But Steve Keirn caught between those two forces, and Keirn has got some problems here. Team championship coming up. All right, waiting for the Nasty Boys, the newly crowned Florida Tag Team Champions. And they're
Now take a
moving
look
on.
at these two brain surgeons coming out here, huh?
Well, let me tell you something. I really have to admire them. They just won the titles, and they were challenged by your men, as you know. They wasted no time in accepting the challenge, and we're going to see it right here on television.
You know, as
They
long as
could
you
have
said
waited
that,
30 days.
as long as you said that, I guess I have to admire them too. Anybody with enough guts to have haircuts like that and still walk the streets have got to be pretty good guys.
And pretty tough.
Yeah.
Pretty doggone tough, I might add. But I will say this, that not many champions would do exactly what they're doing now, putting those Florida Tag Team titles on the line against Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers, the Southern Force.
In front of the entire world.
Yep. And the crowd, as you can hear, is very solidly in the corner of the Nasty Boys, Sags and Knobs. It's Sags moving out first against Hangman Bobby Jaggers. And the Hangman got his name, deservedly so.
You know, Bobby Jaggers from Kansas, he's proud to be a Jayhawker. He'll tell you he's a Jayhawker. He doesn't care. Black Bart from the Pecos area of Texas, one of the toughest hombres ever to step out of the Lone Star State. And now against the Nasty Boys here on television with that Florida Tag Team title on the line. And Bobby Jaggers with a big body slam, misses with that elbow drop. Tries for a second one. And the Nasty Boy rolls outside the ring when he gathers his thoughts. You know, when the going gets tough, these guys, they run, I see. No wonder they're in a cage at the Bayfront.
The strategic move, as far as I'm concerned. Sags moves back into the ring. Jaggers looked like he wanted to duke it up, and Sags said, fine, let's go for it.
How come when me or my boys do something like that, it's an underhanded, dirty move, and these guys do it, and you give them accolades for it?
It's their methodology. It's the way in which they do it, Sir Oliver. Full arm dragon twist now, and quick little bit of double teaming. Keeps the full arm dragon twist. Black Bart makes the tag. Remember now, this is for the Florida Tag Team Championship. Television time remaining. If need be, we will have a standby match, but knowing the caliber of these two teams, we could well go to the curfew.
Black Bart with the advantage now. He's got that Nasty Boy back right in the corner. This is a particularly dangerous man in the corner, as you can see. Black Bart unleashing a couple of right hands on him. Goes to whip him across the ring, but no, the Nasty Boy reverses, and Black Bart goes for the big backdrop there.
High backdrop on the part, and so Black Bart backing away, backs up near his own corner. Studying his man carefully and complaining to the referee. Now he wants Knobs to come in the ring. So Sags complies with that request.
Take a look at this one now. Take a look at this one. This guy's a real classic. Take a look at this. I suppose you're going to tell me he dyes his hair black at the roots?
Well, I'm not into commenting on their personal habits, Sir Oliver. Irish whip by Black Bart, and he rolled away from that one very nicely. Caught him with a hard right hand, caught him with another right hand and another.
Let's call it a right fist, Gordon. Let's call a spade a spade. He's wailing on him with that fist, which, as you know, is not legal in the world of professional wrestling. Where's the referee now? Where are you now saying that that's an illegal move?
Well, knowing the tactics of Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers and the Nasty Boys had ample opportunity to watch them before, I figure they're taking the fire to the fire, if you will.
Well, if that's going to be the case, we're in for a wild one here today in Championship Wrestling. Black Bart now moving Nasty Boy Knobs back to the corner, but Knobs showing a little guts, fighting his way out of that corner. That's not in the game plan.
He's not afraid of either man, and let both of them know about it in no uncertain terms.
Now, this is the kid that the big steel man put on the shelf a couple weeks back. It looks like his shoulders repaired itself pretty well, because he was swinging that arm pretty good.
He was indeed. Say, talking to Don Curtis about Knobs and Sags the other day up in Jacksonville, and Don was saying that they're rough and ready competitors. There's certainly no question about it. And currently they are the Florida Tag Team Champions.
Bobby Jaggers with a look of determination on his face. I know that him and Black Bart have dreamed of winning the Florida Tag Team titles for a long time. In fact, when they made their return to Florida, that was paramount on their list, is getting those Florida Tag Team titles. And this is the opportunity of a lifetime right here today on television as the Nasty Boys make a tag. And Nasty Boy Knobs delivers a body drop to that outstretched arm of Bobby Jaggers and quickly into an arm bar, and Jaggers back to his feet.
Let's say to our thanks to R.C. Randy Roberts, the president of the Professional Wrestling Federation, for getting this match on television. I might point out, of course, all of our matches are sanctioned by the Professional Wrestling Federation. Any reproduction of these matches or anyone charging admission prices to see these matches without the express written authority of the Professional Wrestling Federation is strictly prohibited. Knobs and Sags sketching Black Bart coming in, and Black Bart saw stars on that one. Those eyes rolled skyward, and now they're back with an arm bar on Black Bart.
You know, when you said about them charging admission, this match would be a main event in any arena across the country, and here today in the Professional Wrestling Federation show, it's free to the public.
Amen to that. I'll tell you what, we're going to take a short commercial break here, and we'll be back with more action on Florida Championship Wrestling. Team championship on the line. Neither team able to score a pinfall or submission hold while we were away. It is the Nasty Boys, the Florida Tag Team Champions, defending their titles against the challenge of the Southern Force, Black Bart and Hangman Bobby Jaggers. One fall, television time remaining. And right now, Knobs is in trouble.
We should tell the people that while they were away, the tide of battle swiftly switched and now is in favor of Black Bart and Bobby Jaggers, and I couldn't be happier as they work over Nasty Boy Knobs. Bobby Jaggers now, the hangman from Kansas, with a big elbow, puts Nasty Boy Knobs right flat on his back. And, brother, if this guy wants this match to go too much longer, he better get to his corner and tag his partner, because these two guys right now, the Southern Force, are doing a big number on Nasty Boy Knobs.
Well, time is on the side of the Nasty Boys. As each second ticks down, we get closer and closer to the end of the program, and that means, of course, in that event, the Nasty Boys retain their titles. But right now, Knobs is indeed having some real serious problems. Black Bart pulling out all stops now on Knobs. Knobs sinking down onto that bottom rope.
The prize at stake again, the Florida Tag Team title, one of the most prestigious titles in the world of professional wrestling. And these guys going tooth, hammer and nail, hammer and tong right now in the heat of battle. Black Bart delivering a big blow to the Nasty Boy Knobs. Got him covered, a 1 and 2, just
lateral press, but Knobs powers away from it. Here's a man who is grimly determined to hang on to that Florida Tag Team Championship. But right now, Black Bart continues to some double teaming here.
Now, when they were doing it, you didn't say anything, but as soon as the Southern Force starts to use the rules to their advantage, you're going to jump all over their case, right?
Well, he was away from his corner, number 1. Got a half-front chancery on him, number 2. Had him choked against the ropes, number 3. Certainly that calling attention to. Knobs beginning to fire back now. And once again, the tide of this battle may be turning. Both men colliding in the center of the ring. And Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Sags both shouting encouragement to their tag team partners, but it is Hangman Bobby Jaggers who makes the tag. And now it's Sags making the tag. So we've got 2 fresh men in the ring, and it's Sags exploding with a couple of hard right hands. Catches him with another haymaker right. Irish whip off the ropes. Jaggers. Big backdrop.
This Nasty Boy is full of fire and vinegar here. He's not exactly the poster boy for the Dental Association. He's got about 9 teeth missing in his head, but he's doing a number right now on Jaggers, but he wasn't able to get the pin. Bobby kicked out on 2. Black Bart knocked out of the ring right now.
Hey, wait a minute.
Look at that Nasty Boy grab that branding iron. He's going to hit somebody with that branding iron. He needs to get that away from him.
Well,
what a dirty wrestler, this guy.
No. Black Bart started to... Oh, wait a minute.
Turn around, referee, turn around. Look at this.
Oh. His legs were clearly outside the ropes.
What an upset. And you see it right here on Championship Wrestling for Florida. I happen to love it because I've got a vested interest in the Southern Force, the new Florida Tag Team Champions, Gordon Sully.
Well, I'll tell you what, the referee unfortunately didn't see it. Let's take a look. Now, you saw there the attention distracted.
Got that branding iron. You can see the referee with Knobs over there on the other side.
Now, look at this. Black Bart deliberately tripping
them.
them.
Guys back there. I was watching the referee. I didn't see nothing happen over here. Look at this.
Ellen, the referee is unable to see this.
3 ski.
All right, so for the moment, Hangman Bobby Jaggers and Black Bart have won the Florida Tag Team.